The recently announced Drake Ironclad has got a lot of Star Citizen players excited, not least because of the versatile possibilities offered by a huge cavernous cargo bay in a ship that comes in at a competitive size and price to other haulers. But as the ship is not yet flyable in game, what might a potential pilot discern from the initial launch materials? I'm Forrester, and welcome to the Drydock, a series which delves deeper into the ships of Star Citizen. This video will explore the background behind the Ironclad both in and out of game, then take a look at some of the attributes and statistics of the ship before considering how that might all translate into gameplay. There are timestamps in the video description, although if you're interested in the Ironclad, you might prefer to watch this one all the way through. And whilst this channel usually focuses on what's currently in game, necessarily this video will navigate the treacherous space that is speculation territory. Whilst every effort has been made to approach this video accurately, sometimes information is sparse and much is subject to change as time goes along, and that's especially true of concept launches. So please treat the content with a pinch of salt and not as a definitive promise as to what will happen. All of that said, let's dive into the background of the Ironclad. The Drake Ironclad was first revealed to players in May 2024 as part of the Drake DefenseCon follow-on event from Invictus Launch Week. The launch included some website materials and a detailed concept video on Inside Star Citizen. Shortly thereafter, in June 2024, that launch was followed up by a Q&A on the Star Citizen website. As with many recent concept launches, the in-game background for the Ironclad is rather sparse. Perhaps it's sufficient to say that the ship was recently announced in lore and accordingly doesn't yet have a rich backstory behind it. The Ironclad went up for sale at a price point of $450 or $400 for new money in May 2024. The Ironclad Assault variant was slightly higher at $465 or $535 of new money, although some players were able to purchase at $525 due to an error at initial sale. The stated purpose for the Ironclad is as an armoured freighter, leveraging the expansive cargo bay to move things from A to B. The onboard storage is enclosed, giving a little more protection than competitors in the whole series at the expense of comparative capacity. As a Drake ship, the Ironclad is also rather capable in picking up cargo that it happens to find out and about whilst flying in a completely above-board, unquestionably legal manner. The Ironclad would have a total length of 120 meters, a total width or beam of 52 meters, and a total height of 20 meters. The total mass of the Ironclad is still to be determined. By way of components, the specifications outline that power would be provided by 2 large power plants, with cooling supplied by 2 large coolers. Additionally, the Ironclad would carry a large radar supported by 3 medium-sized computers. Defensively, the Ironclad would carry 4 large shield generators. From a propulsion support system standpoint, the Ironclad is expected to have a large jump and quantum drive, as well as 2 large quantum and hydrogen fuel tanks. The Ironclad is also expected to carry 3 large fuel intakes. In terms of thrusters, the specifications list 10 main thrusters with 4 VTOL, 2 retro, and 18 maneuvering thrusters providing support. By way of armament, the current specifications for the Ironclad list 1 primary manned turret with dual size 5 weapons and a supporting manned turret with dual size 3 weapons. There are a further 2 remote turrets, both armed with 2 size 3 weapons, and the specifications list a further remote turret armed with dual size 2 weapons, although it's not immediately clear whether this is on the command module or internally within the cargo bay. The specifications further list 4 missile racks armed with 2 size 5 missiles, which are Gladiator torpedo-sized armaments. The crew specifications for the Ironclad note a minimum crew of 1 to a maximum crew of 6. Realistically, the crew requirements will likely depend on what activity the Ironclad is undertaking. This ship looks to be the kind where a solo pilot could run cargo from A to B without too much difficulty. However, the majority of the combat firepower is based on the manned and remote turrets, so for bringing an Ironclad into a combat area, a crew of 3 or 4 might be appropriate. The primary feature of the Ironclad is the vast cargo bay at the front of the ship, which, coupled with a secure storage elsewhere, supports 1,536 SCU of cargo. There's expected to be a ramp at the front and a retracting cargo bay door up top for efficient loading of cargo from the ground and in space, not to mention potential loading of smaller vehicles with a dedicated garage area attached to the main cargo bay for such a purpose. Those cargo loading operations are supported by 3 size 2 tractor beams expected to increase the efficiency with which the Ironclad can load up cargo. The Ironclad features a command module which couples up as an escape pod, very similar to that found on the Caterpillar, such that it's said to be compatible. The Assault variant trades a little cargo storage and the tractor beams for some extra armour, as well as a repair bay, some upgunning, and jump seats for troopers. The Ironclad is a bit like a bigger sibling to the Caterpillar, and accordingly the primary use case is likely to be similar: cargo trading and piracy. The onboard tractor beams are likely to be very useful for both activities, as well as the highly accessible cargo bay. The Ironclad sits somewhere between the Hercules and Hull C for cargo capacity, at a similar price point to each, and so straddles those gameplay options. However, the relatively heavy armament and shields potentially make it a powerful choice for piracy. The shielded and protected nature of the cargo bay might also suggest a possibility of running the Ironclad for higher value or more vulnerable cargo. Another possibility is as a snub carrier, a Star Citizen favourite. Although it would require a higher crew count, the large cargo bay could be used to land smaller ships and seems particularly well suited to snub fighters, which could be launched and recovered aboard. The height of the cargo bay seems to be the limiting factor, which would prohibit a Prospector or Vulture from fitting aboard and closing the roof, but smaller fighters should fit. Ultimately, the large cargo bay coupled with tractor beam and ramps may make the Ironclad a very versatile ship, and so open up a lot of possibilities for gameplay. For a small pirate squadron, the Ironclad would be a natural centre of such a fleet, with some decent firepower for tougher ships to crack open, as well as plenty of cargo storage for looting up that precious booty. There's also a potential role in larger skirmishes as a ship that could swoop in and use the tractor beams to pick up cargo from a damaged or destroyed ship, under the protection of the 4 large shield generators. To some extent, the Assault variant may also be useful in supporting large-scale ground operations with a significant number of jump seats aboard, as well as internal diagrams showing up to 4 Nova tanks in the vehicle bay. This versatility is one of the reasons that the initial reaction to the Ironclad seems to be so popular, and it'll be interesting to see the ship as it develops to a playable state, potentially paving the way for the Kraken in future. Understandably, there are many of you out there who are excited about the Ironclad, and so it'll be very interesting to read your thoughts on this ship in the video comments. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, you might like to do that whilst you're down there, so that you can get the heads up for new videos on the channel, as well as closing the armoured roof over the like button if you like heavily narrated slideshows talking about fictional spaceships. Otherwise, and as always, thank you for watching.